I love TED Talks. And the reason why I love TED Talks is because the ideas that people share on that platform are original, are straight from the heart. There is credibility behind it, and there is certain level of quality in the research that people do that they share in these talks. So I am an avid follower of TED Talks, and there are so many that I have heard till now. So if I were to really, pick top 5 TED Talks in the space of leadership, this is what my list will look like. Number 5 is the rarest commodity is leadership without ego. A talk which was delivered by Bob Davids. He talks about the difference between management and leadership. Very, very important difference for us to understand and appreciate. Every manager is not a leader, and every leader doesn't have to be at a managerial position. The difference is a thin line, but a very important line for us to keep in mind. So that's what I love about this talk. He also talks about a book which is a must read. I have read it, so should you. Watch this talk to know which book am I talking about. Number 4 is a talk called Listen, Learn, and Then Lead by Stanley. He was an ex-general in the army, in the US Army, and he talks very passionately about the many learnings he's had in his journey, with the defense. But most importantly, he touches upon a very, very crucial aspect of leadership, and that is how to become relevant and stay relevant as a leader when there is such a big generation gap between the person who leads and people who are being led. If you've not had similar experiences that people had, how do you then lead them with authenticity, with credibility? Great question to ask, and a very simple answer that he shares in his talk. So another must watch. Number 3 in my list is We Cannot Lead Others Without First Leading From Within by Lolly Daskal. She has shared a very simple understanding of leadership in this talk, and that's what I love about the talk. It's really simply put. But the most powerful statement that she makes in the talk is this: leaders aren't great because they have power, but because they can empower others. It's not just a fancy or good sounding quotation. It's actually the crux, the meaning of leadership. And I really loved the way she delivers it in this power-packed talk. Number 2 in my list is a talk called Great Leadership Starts with Self-Leadership by Lars Sutton. In this talk, the idea that's being touched upon is one of the most critical things to understand. Before we start leading other people or prepare ourselves to lead other people, we need to invest time in leading ourselves. Self-leadership is the most important critical step in the foundation of becoming a great leader. So in this talk, you will learn 3 ways in which you can develop yourself as a leader. How do you develop self-leadership? 3 simple ways to do that. I'm not going to give that away right now. Watch this talk to learn that. And the number 1 talk, TED Talk for me in the space of leadership is a talk called What It Takes to Be a Great Leader by Rosalind Torres. In this talk, she's asked 3 very critical questions that you need to ask yourself so that you don't get stuck with the old school 360 degrees and the feedback mechanisms and the psychometrics and whatever has been our Stone Age understanding of what are the various criteria and parameters to be a great leader. I think those parameters have to be questioned time and again, because as the environment around us changes, those criteria have to be revisited. So what is really critical is for us to see something, a set of questions if need be, that can prevail the change of time, the change of tides, the waves that hit us of technology or of anything else that might come up tomorrow that we'll be facing. So the challenges can be different, the environment can be different, but our understanding of leadership needs to come from a much deeper place so that remains agnostic of whatever changes are happening around. There are 3 very powerful questions that are being put out in this talk, and I would strongly recommend that you answer those questions for yourself, because when I did, it gave me a much clearer understanding of where I stand as a leader and how far do I need to go to become an even better leader. I hope you enjoy these talks. Each one of it is a bag full of wisdom. So when you are going through these talks, remember to have a notebook handy. I always do, because I think that is what helps you to be a student when you're in a space of learning, which is any space that you enter. As a leader, you must be equipped with certain tools. For me, it is as basic as a notebook and a pen. I did just that, and I have been able to jot down the nuggets of wisdom that are going to help me to not just improve myself as a leader, but also reach out to my community, you all out there, so you can also become great leaders in your space. Enjoy these talks. Thank you for watching.